The market is moving because the president is talking about China on social media. Here's what he posted. He says, I believe that China purposely not buying our soybeans and causing difficulty for our soybean farmers is an economically hostile act. We are considering terminating business with China having to do with cooking oil and other elements of trade as retribution. As an example, we can easily produce cooking oil ourselves. We don't need to purchase it from China. Note that word considering there, Scott, because even though there's been a lot of intense rhetoric from President Trump and Treasury Secretary Besson over the past 4 days, the thing to focus on is what hasn't happened, which is any action actually to raise tariffs or to retaliate concretely. You saw that word considering the retaliation there in the social media post. Now, I'm told that that's part of an intentional effort by the U.S. to manage through this situation. So even as tensions are rising, the U.S. action here has been proportional to the Chinese action. And because the Chinese have so far threatened to impose export controls on rare earths, but not yet actually done it, the U.S. retaliation remains in the realm of hypothetical for now, too. Now, that means there's still a way to dial back from this relatively quickly if the two sides can find an off-ramp. One point a senior administration official made to me today. The Chinese Ministry of Commerce, they feel, has taken a much more aggressive role in the negotiations than the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which has been part of the reason for the flare-up. U.S. officials are concerned that some in the Chinese Ministry of Commerce are adopting a more hostile style of diplomacy known as the wolf warrior ethos. One person who's getting a lot of attention in that regard, Scott, is Li Chenggong, the Chinese Vice Minister of Commerce. You see him here. He's said to be one of the most aggressive officials on the Chinese side of these negotiations and a potential disruptor or problem in these talks. But it doesn't seem to the U.S. side that all of the Chinese officials are adopting this approach. And so that raises the question of how much of this is Chinese domestic politics playing out and how much of it is an intentional good cop, bad cop strategy. U.S. officials see the trade truce since the talks in Geneva this summer as fragile but stable, despite the rhetoric of the past 4 days. And for now, the betting in Washington is that face-to-face meeting between President Trump and Xi Jinping will actually happen at the end of the month, Scott. So some insight into sort of what's going on behind the scenes.